All right, good evening and welcome to the broadcast. Please, I look forward to having the full house, the 1,700 to 2,000 people joining us tonight, wherever you may be. I know if you are joining in from ground zero, it should be night time right now. If you are joining in from Europe, it should be nighttime also. If you are joining in from the US, it should be afternoon. And again, welcome and thanks for joining the broadcast. As usual, I will plead with you to share the link to all the social media platforms that you have your way. Share it on the Twitter, share on Facebook groups, share on WhatsApp, especially WhatsApp. I know each and every one has at least 3, 4, 5 WhatsApp groups with quite a handful of people. So please, you go ahead and you share the links to your WhatsApp groups so that they can in turn join and share the link for us to start. And remember to share your location. I say Vivian Beaumar from Canada. Thank you. Again, remember to share your location. Share your location. Let's know where you're joining in from. And I also like to know, especially those joining in from ground zero. And please do not give me a wrong location. I really like to know exactly where you are joining in from, especially those of you joining in from ground zero. Let me know the exact town, city, or village where you may be joining in from. As usual, once we hit the 1,000 people, I will go ahead and do the presentation. This is going to be a short presentation. It's not going to be long. However, I will spend a few minutes after the presentation to answer any questions that you may have. I hope that the screen works fine to send me the questions. As you join, go ahead. You have a question, put it on the screen. I will come back after the presentation to answer any question that you may have. And I want to appeal to Pen in the studio, if you can. I don't know whether it is my screen or Facebook as a whole. I do not see the messages scrolling on my screen. They are at a standstill. For me to see the question that people are asking or would want to ask, I like to have the screen rolling. Yes, see, the screen is rolling right now. All right, so we have close to 500 people in less than 4 minutes. This is wonderful. Please share that link as you join. Again, this is an interesting broadcast that I present to you today. And friends, comrades, I want you to know our revolution is getting exciting by the day. We are actually making lots and lots of progress. La République du Cameroun has never been under the pressure that it is today. And what does that tell you? It tells you we are moving towards Boya. We are making tremendous progress. And we can only keep doing so. And so each and every one of us, I just want to remind us about our trip to Boya. Our trip to Boya. Please, if you are out there and you haven't made your or paid your ticket or bought your ticket, please, I am appealing to you with the progress that we are making. We do not want it punctured and stop us from getting to Boya because of finances. So please, if you have not paid your ticket, call this number. Call this number I am giving you. The number is 682-234-0465. Again, that number is 682-234-0465. That is the number you want to call to make your donation or to buy your ticket for my trip to Boya. So please go ahead and call that number. Let them know Chris Anu sent you there to pay for your ticket to Boya. Again, I am so excited about the speed at which people are joining. We have close to 800 people in less than 6 minutes, in about 6 minutes. Please, thank you. Keep on sharing the link. This broadcast is quite important, especially when we are making clarification on some form of on some allegations that we hear out there. We want as many people as possible to get this information. Share the link as you join. Almost 800 people in less than 7 minutes. I am quite excited. So please, you share the link. And remember, again, if you have not yet you have not yet bought your ticket to Boya, call the number I just put on the screen, or I gave you, 682-234-0465, and get assistance to buy your ticket to Boya. There are business people out there who can make 10 million CFA, $10 million, $1 million, or 1 million CFA. We are looking up to you. Don't wait until when it is late, when we really don't desperately need your money, for you to come in and say you want to support. Your support is needed now, not anytime. Now, it is needed now. Thank you again for joining. Thank you for all of those joining from Ground Zero and those joining from other parts of the diaspora. I see, for instance, Otello the General. I see Kemi Ashu. I see William Masango. I see Lum Vivian, Achu Elvis, Laurent Tabisco, Fese Ebako, Asana Timothy, SC Ernestine, watching, he says, Gavs Mbeng, Apongu Emmanuel, Anne-Marie Betchu, says from Sweden, Emma Ambiance. Yes, please keep on sharing the link. Almost 1,000 people in less than 9 minutes. This is fabulous. I see Gwen watching from Ground Zero. Thank you. Tita Yeshua, he says joining from Ground Zero. Thank you also. Bayano Eugene says you are welcome, sir. Thank you, sir. Fisher and King, I see you, sir. Kuku Ingwa, always I see you. Gladys Njengoa watching. Lady Casey Clister, of course, from London. Edwin Che, Prisco Chabajong, my little own cousin. Thank you. Mimi Bibik, Etando Randolph, Muku Joseph, Ofe Valentine. Keep joining, please. We have just hit 1,000 people in less than 10 minutes. This is fabulous. Again, remember, I will be taking a number of questions in this broadcast. It's a short presentation, and I don't want to rush out. If you have a question, put it on the screen right now. It can be on any subject that concerns our revolution. I will be willing to give you the best answer that I can. So please go ahead, put any questions you may have on the screen. I see Mukom Robert join, Harry Oben. It says, keep up, sir. I see Air Dios. Says, my trip to Boya on my mind. Thank you. Go ahead, please. Make the payment, make the payment, make the payment. I see Lenjo Kingsley also, Peter Leonga, Haru Young, and I see Shah Mofo from Dubai. Thank you all for joining. Please, I am not yet satisfied yet with the sharing. I know we've got more than 1,000 people now. Share the link as you join. Your WhatsApp groups, they need the links. They need the links. So please go ahead, put those links on your WhatsApp groups and let people join the broadcast. I want us to break the limit today. At least 2,000 people watching. I'm not going to wait till 2,000 people to start, but I want to see at the last count at least 2,000 people watching this broadcast today, especially when I will be taking your questions. So please put those questions on the screen. And also remember, I'd like to know where you are joining in from. Please, I see Immaculate, Kume, Missouri, Mukom Robert, watching from K-Town, I think so, he says. Thank you. Castro Labisterano says 1,000 watching. Akawun Colette Jean, that's a long name. Asom from UAE, United Arab Emirates. Fisher and King, I think I mentioned that before. Ochiba Achundo, Nelson, Chris Anu, Fire will go. Oh, I missed that other part of it. Thank you, sir. Anyways, peace, hope, I see you. Forga Juan Fredo, I see you too, and I hear you too. Bumi, somebody, I missed that, I'm sorry. Jax or Jackie Wetan, I see you too. Inji Anyere, thank you. Tanyi Linus, watching from Colonial Capital in Yaoundé. What are you still doing there? You should be heading back home now. I also see Nkonwe Safa also join, and Nini Nesto, Sebastian Anyangwe Chika, I see you, sir. Mome Ndaga Napoleon, I see you too. Peter J. and so I see you. Miriam Hope, I see you. Ambe Innocent, Munju Julius, Prince Bokilo. Again, please share that link. This is a short broadcast. That is why I'm not in a rush to start or to do the presentation. I will not do this presentation for more than 10 minutes. I don't even think it's up to, about 10 minutes, But again, I will take your questions in the course of the presentation. So please go ahead. You got any question, put it on the screen. I will be glad to try to, as much as possible, take those questions and answer them. Questions about the progress of the revolution, questions about the interim government, questions about negotiations, if any, please put them on the screen. I will be glad to take those questions. I see Chair Braxton, Elvis, Minjo, Eva Green, Southern Cameroon, USA, NJ Mu Jesus, I see you. George Array, I see George Array, I see Aisha Ann. Yes, I know her, I know that name. Greetings from the land of the brave warriors of Insult. No, come on, don't fool me here, Aisha. All right, you are somewhere hiding around here. I see also Yanko, I see Castro, I've mentioned that. El Nelsono, I see you. I see Fisher, I've mentioned Fisher King. All right, we have a little over 1,300 people watching, and I think I should go ahead and do the presentation while others join. Please, I would like to see us hit at least 2,000 people watching this little broadcast here. Again, it's not going to be long. I like you continue to share the link. Continue to share the link while you watch. And if you're watching by SCTV, please invite somebody. If you're watching by SCBC, please let your neighbor know or invite somebody. If you're watching by SCTV, share the link to somebody. Watching by YouTube, also please share the link to somebody. Watching by Facebook, again, go ahead to share the link to somebody. Thank you so much for tuning in. And for those of you online, thank you for joining, and good evening to all of you on Amberland. fellow Amazonians, there is growing evidence that the frustrations and desperations of the colonial regime in Yaoundé for an ill-advised war are increasing by the day as we make gains in the defense of our territory, the southern Cameroun's Amazonia, and of course, progress towards the actualization of our independence. Our successful efforts to defend the October 1st, 2017 Declaration of Restoration of our statehood, the desecration and killing of 20th May celebrations in our territory, La République du Cameroon's recent confrontations and attempts to bully the United States ambassador in Yaoundé, the British Parliament and Australian government's demands for explanation on the abuses being perpetuated against Amazonians by the regime are terrifying them. All these factors, they are giving the regime sleepless nights in Yaoundé. No doubt, Issa Chiroma now says they are the victims. La République du Cameroun cannot believe they are losing the war to a tattered amateur community defenders. They see Amazonia Restoration Forces about taking territories, and they are scared to death. They have resorted to some of their old tactics, some of their old weapons, false propaganda, misleading messages. The regime is now trying to cause it up to the Francophone population in their country. Francophones throughout this conflict have refused to question the rationality of this war on the southern Cameroons. But seeing their sons and daughters returning home in body bags from the war, they are beginning to question the legitimacy of they are beginning to question the legitimacy of the war. And to assuage the anger of its own people, La République du Cameroun has embarked on propaganda and systematic misinformation. Most of you by now have learned of allegations that Koffi Anan, former Secretary General of the United Nations, is currently carrying out mediation exclusively between Paul Biya of French Cameroon and President Sisiku Julius Ayuktabe of the Southern Cameroun's Amazonia. This interim government would like you to rest assured that there is no iota of truth about that allegation or information. It is false and thus fake. It has actually been brought to our attention that the story was concocted, paid for, and planted in French Cameroon media by the regime in Yaoundé to send the impression to its Francophone citizens that it is now in the middle of negotiations with Sisiku Julius Ayuktabe. Again, that information is false. It is not true. No form of negotiation is going on with anybody who is involved in this interim government, not with Sisiku Ayuktabe. The interim government reached out to the Koffi Anan Foundation in Switzerland today to inquire about the said negotiations. The foundation said they have not as much as been contacted by anybody for any form of negotiations or dialogue. They said the news of the mediation involving Koffi Anan came to them too as a piece of surprise. And they were working on putting out a press statement to debunk the allegations. The interim government spoke to one of the editors of the media houses which aired the story about negotiations between Sisiku, Biya, and Koffi Anan in Dakar. The editor too denied having any knowledge about such information and said there was no awareness, or said he wasn't aware that such information went out even from their own media. The reporter on his part said he saw the information, now get this clearly, he saw the information on some social media and used it without proper vetting or verification. He has since also maintained that the piece of information is false and misleading. Again, that information about some negotiations ongoing between Sisiku Julius Ayoktabe, our president, and Paul Biya is false and it is misleading. And I want to say this, I want to add this. It is very important that we all on the social media platform be very watchful of the information we cling onto. Not every piece of information on the social media is verifiable. And so when you have not heard anything confirmed from your interim government, please ignore it unless you hear otherwise from the interim government. Fellow Ambazonians, this interim government can never, ever emphasize its position enough on this subject of negotiations with La République du Cameroun. In a conflict, mediation cannot come to one of the parties by surprise. It is arranged and planned for. The parties must know and accept the mediation, the mediator, and the location. But in this case, the interim government has not been contacted nor approached by anyone. We would also like to make it unequivocally clear that President Sisiku cannot unilaterally negotiate from behind bars the fate of over 8 million Ambazonians. For any negotiations involving Sisiku to be legitimate, they, and I mean all of them, including Penterens, the Mancho BBC of Ambazonia, who are still behind bars, who are detained, must first of all be released. They cannot negotiate in chains. Ambazonians, I'm sorry, they cannot negotiate in chains. Any form of negotiation settlement between La République du Cameroun and the detained leaders must be reached outside of their confinement. That must be done as free men and women. This interim government remains the face of the revolution. And so any group of persons entering into any form of arrangement with La République du Cameroun or participating in any form of arrangement with La République du Cameroun is an exercise in futility. It will be a waste of time and resources. I would like to report to you that in the days ahead, Acting President Dr. Sako shall be convening an all-Ambazonia consultative conference. The conference will bring together all the major stakeholders in the revolution. The conference shall have the stakeholders articulate our position going into any negotiations and possibly who should sit on that negotiation table. Until the conference meets and comes out, We are appealing to every Amazonian to consider any allegations of negotiations as false and misleading. We will not be in the habit of coming out every time there are rumors out there about negotiations to debunk it. The interim government shall duly inform the public when we are invited for such negotiations. That means until you hear it from us, until you hear from the interim government, do not believe anything you hear out there. Put all rumors about negotiations to rest unless you hear from your interim government. And remember, we will live free or die fighting. Again, thanks for sitting in for the presentation. I will now spend a few minutes to answer some of the questions that you may have on this topic or this subject. I am really excited about the enthusiasm for this broadcast. I see 1,900 people. Thank you so very much. Keep on sharing the link as I take the questions. Please, again, back in the studio, if you can get, if it is possible for you to have this screen rolling for me. I don't know whether it's my computer or your or yours that is freezing the screen from rolling. Please do so that I can see the questions that are being put out here. Again, I really want to spend a few moments to see I can answer any questions that come in here. And you can go ahead and call, actually, call through Facebook. If you can call through Facebook, and I will answer and ask your question. Do not call if you don't have a question. If you want to call with a question, please. You can go ahead and call, and I will answer the call. You don't have a question, do not call. You must call when you have a question. And if you want to put your question so I can read it on the screen, please you go ahead and do so. So go ahead and call if you can call. If you want to put your question on the screen, go ahead and do that. I'm going to take the first call right now. If it is not a question, please do not call. It's taking a little bit longer to connect. Please, you can do audio call, no video calling, please. Video call, no video calling. Video call, I would take audio calls, not video calls. So if you want to call, make it audio, not video, please. And I am really sorry with the screen here. I don't understand why the screen is not rolling. Okay, let me try to take this and see. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Please, I hear you. Go ahead and ask a question, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Secretary. This is Koffi Anan calling from Los Angeles. So
Thank you.
I want to know the position of the IG in relation to the new movement that is called Scope, and then I want to know what IG is doing try to maybe like those who are affiliating themselves with the Scope and also working with the IG, because we understand that Scope was launched by Atamilang, who is under suspension. We cannot accept any movement formed by somebody who is under suspension. That is Ochiwa Nelson from Los Angeles. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the question. Remember, I said from the beginning I would like to entertain questions on the negotiations subject. However, this is what I would say. I am not in the position right now to give you any answers on anything concerning Scope. The interim president will be addressing that question. The acting president, I mean to say, will be addressing that question, I think, as early as maybe sometime today or tomorrow. I do not want to preempt what he has to say, but please, be it on you to wait and until the president addresses it. Once he does that, I will be at liberty to come out and say a few things about Scope. Thank you very much for calling. For those of you watching, you can also call on this same number, which is 603-682-2687. Again, 603-682-2687. You can reach me on this number since I'm having some difficulties on the Facebook page here. Call on the number. You can reach me on this number I've given you live. All right. Hello, sir.
Yes, this is Immaculate calling from Missouri.
Immaculate coming from Missouri. Thank you, ma'am. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
What's your question?
My question is on my trip to Boya.
Okay.
I wanted to ask that, are we...
I'm sorry, can you take the question again? I couldn't get you.
I'm asking that what is the state of my trip to Boya? Do we need to work extra hard?
Thank you.
Or we are almost achieving our goals?
Thank you for the question. I would like to hang up on you so that I answer the question and take other calls. Can I do that?
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you. She's asking about my trip to Boya, how far we have gone with that. My trip to Boya is still ongoing. And again, I just gave you a number. If you have not paid the trip, call this number, 682-234-0465 to make your donation or to buy your ticket. Again, that number is 682-234-0465 to make your donation. As far as the state of the donation is concerned, again, we are still accepting donations, and we are going to extend it to another 1 month, which means till the end of June, so that everybody who has not had a chance to pay for the trip can do so. Thank you very much for the question. I'll take the next one. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm calling from Ohio. I want to pose a question to Koffi Anan, the Communication Secretary.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, my concern is on the issue of a negotiation. I want to find out the position of the interim government in an event of a negotiation with the Republic. What is the strategy that the interim government has put in place?
Thank you.
We're going to allow ourselves in a situation whereby we'll be caught off guard and maybe we'll go and commit as well as like the former mess. So
thank you, sir.
That is my concern.
Thank you. And thank you. And what's your name again?
My name is Ega Ephraim. I'm calling from Ohio.
Ega Ephraim from Ohio. Thank you. Can I answer the question, please?
Then my second question is, what is the effort being made by IG to ensure that Ayabacho and the other girls are being brought to the fold so that we work as one. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So the question is, what is the IG doing in preparations for these negotiations to avoid another Fumban? And what is being done to include all the leaders of the revolution in the negotiations? Now, the first thing, the answer to both questions is this. I made mention in my presentation that the acting president will, in the days ahead, be putting together an all-Ambazonia consultative conference. That conference will bring together members of all the leaders in this revolution. And once they sit there in that conference, they will come out with the modalities for any form of negotiation that will be taking place with la République du Cameroun. And of course, again, you can rest assured that with all those leaders sitting on that conference table, that means they will not be excluded from participation at that negotiation. Thank you. Hello, sir. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir. You have a question?
Good, sir.
Sorry, I lost that call there. Let's see other calls coming in. Then I read Mike Ngunurai, why is the IG not asking viewers to reach out to U.S. ambassador during this time he is being bullied? Mike, we are actually asking every Ambazonian to reach out to the U.S. ambassador for appreciation, not only U.S. ambassador, even the U.S. government for appreciation. Thank you. I take the next question here. Hello?
Am I on SCBC?
You are on SCBC, sir.
Okay. Can I ask a question? Hello?
Go right on, please.
Okay.
May I get your name and where you're calling from, sir?
Okay, good evening, please. I'm Francis Wending. I'm calling from Paris.
Calling from Paris. Thank you.
Yeah, so my question though is not really related to the Sisiku Republic negotiation stuff. It's just a strategic question. And permit me to ask it, please. My question is this. In this struggle, what actions is the IG taking towards France to, like, some kind of give France the guarantee that an independent sovereign Cameroon would not mean a danger for France? On the contrary, it would be a relationship, a win-win relationship. Because when we look at the situation presently, France has a big role to play in the whole of this struggle, and we cannot just ignore France. So what is the guarantee the IG, or what is the strategy the IG is adopting towards France to, like, some kind of give them a guarantee that, look, we don't mean any danger towards you people?
All right, thank you. I think the question is understood, sir. Thanks for calling again. And that was Francis calling from France. And he is asking, what is the interim government doing to work with the French in this revolution to guarantee that the French do not see us as a threat? Please, caller, can you hold, please? So this is the answer to Francis' question. Francis, I appreciate your question, but I will say there are certain things we cannot discuss in the public. These are issues concerning diplomacy, which I cannot discuss them publicly, but you can rest assured that we are taking your concerns very much into consideration. In due season, you will find out what the IG is doing in that respect. Thank you very much. May I know where you're calling from, sir?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Hello.
Mola Wunja from London. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. And you?
Good to hear your voice.
Yes, thank you very much.
And was a Christian, sir?
Yes, it was a Christian concerning the negotiation. I think I presume making a negotiation does not mean they should take all the leaders. I think arranging for the negotiation does not mean to choose the leaders. I think negotiation needs experts also have the experts in the field of negotiation. And they should choose people for the various counties. Let the counties choose their people to go and negotiate to avoid 1972 Formal Conference mistake, to avoid it. They should not choose leaders. Leaders does not mean you are a leader of the group, means you know how to negotiate. That is what I'm saying.
All right.
Choosing by the people of the various counties.
All right. Thank you very much for the call, Mola. Thank you so much. Can I answer it now, please?
Yes, please.
All right. I will put you off to answer it so that I can I can release the line for others who are trying to call.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, caller, can you hold, please? Hello? Hello? And so let me get to Mola's question about who represents us at any negotiation. Can you hold, please?
Okay. Hello?
Can you hold, please?
Yes, please.
All right, hold. So I am going back to answer Mola's question as to who represents us in any negotiations if and when they are called. It's very simple. Mola, you cannot have it both ways. If you want if you want the groups to represent us or every group to be on the table, you cannot then say every county should send representatives to that negotiation table. I think the answer is simple. We or the acting president is putting together this all Ambazonia consultative forum, and that forum will consist of all the major players, all the major groups in this revolution. And once they get there, they will choose who represents or who sits on that table. It's going to be a unanimous agreement between all of them, so that by the end of the day, nobody comes out saying, "Oh, we were left out." No, that is not going to happen, and this is not going to be an IG affair. It is going to be a revolutions affair. Everybody is going to be taken into consideration. Thank you very much for the question, and I'll take the next one. Hello. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello, can you get me?
I can hear you, sir. Go ahead and ask the question.
Okay, it's not too much of a question, but it's my own part of proposals that I think while we are preparing for whatever talks that okay, my question is this.
Okay.
Yeah, my question is this. While we are thinking of going for any negotiation, what are the modalities that we have put to see that those that are still in jail have been released?
All right, thank you, sir. Can I answer the question?
And then secondly, I don't think Cameroon should be the people to propose where they want us to go, because anywhere they want us to go will be a place where they have done all their preparation, in a place where we'll be unable to do what we are supposed to do. So I believe we should be the people to decide which nation we want this talk to hold, because any French-speaking country that this talk is going to hold is going to be a fiasco.
All right, thank you, sir. I get your suggestion and your question. If I may take a minute to answer it now. Thank you for calling.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, so the caller is asking what steps are we taking to make sure that our leaders are out of jail before any form of negotiations can take place. And he is also insisting that La République du Cameroun must not be the party that decides where the negotiation takes place. And as far as the first question is concerned, the IG or the interim government has said there can be no negotiations until every single Ambazonian behind bars, not just Sisiku and Tasang Wilfred and Mancho BBC and Terence parents, not just these ones, but every single Ambazonian who has been arrested because of this conflict, they must all be released. It's a must. They have to all be released before we can even consider any invitation for some form of negotiations. And as far as location for or venue for the negotiation is concerned, of course, it doesn't matter who proposes what. What matters is what we say. We would have to accept the location for any form of negotiation to take place. So we're not worried about who proposes the location. We would have to be satisfied. The interim government and other parties involved would have to be satisfied with the location and, of course, the mediators before we can give a go-ahead to any negotiations. Thank you very much. Hello. All right. I see Mandolin Bayer writes, representation for negotiations could still be seasoned diplomats from foreign countries. Well, I will leave that to the team that sits together to decide the modalities on our side. And I see Patricia, as you brainstorm back home, send your ideas to the IG. We will have to pull all our brains and create the most awesome country for us. You are very much correct, Patricia. All right. Again, I will spend a few more minutes. Again, if you have a question, call the number I gave you. Some people have been trying to call. You can call again. And I will still spend a few more minutes to answer any question relating to the interim government and the negotiations. Unfortunately, those of you who are posting questions on the screen, the comments on my screens are not rolling for me to be able to answer or to take your questions. But if you call, I will be able to do that. Call the number 603-682-2687. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, is it SCBC?
This is SCBC, sir, and you are on with Secretary Chris Anan.
Yes. Good day, sir.
Thank you. What's the question, sir?
Yes, my name is Sisiku. I'm calling from the United Kingdom.
And your names are what?
Kingsley Ibo.
Kingsley Ebon. Okay, what's the question, sir?
Yes, sir, I just want to know what is the Indian government doing to come out with its own government? What is President Samuel Sanko waiting to constitute his own government? Because at this point, we believe that he is supposed to form its own government rather than the government of people that has been adopted.
Okay, so what is you are asking? What is acting President Sako doing or waiting for to form his own government? Correct?
Yes.
All right. Now this is the answer to your question. You remember that this government is still called the interim government, and the president of the interim government is President Sisiku Ayuk Julius Tabe. This is still his government, and we are having an acting president who is sitting in for him. The acting president can only carry out changes when need be, when there are vacancies that would need to be filled. And so that is why he is not going out to dissolve the government in its entirety to form a new government. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
I respect that position, but at this point, there are a lot of moles in this government. And we can say that Professor Sanko constitute a new government that will be inclusive.
All right, thank you very much. I will let you go so I can release the phone to take other callers. Thanks for calling, sir.
Thank you.
Bye. Hello.
Yes, Secretary, this is Ashley Kingsley.
Thanks for calling, Kingsley.
My pleasure talking with you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, let me appreciate the good effort and what you've been doing so far.
Thank you. Just go ahead and ask the question so that I can release the phone for other callers, please.
Yes, I want to go straight to the question concerning Foleyhook.
Okay.
We have submitted an internal memo. We wanted to know, a lot of people are writing to us to know what is the position of the IG with respect to Foleyhook in terms of international lobby within the United States as pertains to the struggle.
All right, thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry to say I cannot answer that question right now because there are certain things I cannot put them out in the public here. I hope that makes sense to you.
Okay.
Thank you very much for calling. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir, and thanks for calling. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Italy, sir.
From Italy. Thank you. And what's the question, sir?
Yeah, I do not really have questions. I just want to add to what you said earlier that not everything is to be brought on Facebook or on the media. So I want to thank and congratulate the IG for that. There are certain things that are kept for diplomacy, as you said earlier. And I want also to add here that for my trip to Boya extension, people should understand that it is for the better of the struggle, that they should not worry or ask questions as to why is it being postponed again and again. It is for the better of the struggle. It is being done so that the amount of money that is required is attained, so that what is required should be done and done in a way that there will be no regrets and that we'll find ourselves straight in Boya. So revolutionary greetings to you, sir, to the interim government, to all those who are fighting for this great struggle, winning struggle, I must say. Thank you for the great job you're doing. We are all behind you, and I am receiving this opportunity to tell all to go to www.mytriptoboya.com and pay the dues and subscribe on daily basis. Give the little you can, always, and we will gradually reach what we want and reach Boya. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you again for that word. Yes, we are not extending the period for my trip to Boya because we are desperate. We are doing so that everybody out there who has not yet paid for the trip can do so, have the opportunity to do so. Some are waiting for their paychecks, some are waiting to get some funds come in, and some are still struggling to actually find out how they can actually do so. Again, I left a number here on the screen, and that number is 682 234 0465. Again, the number is 682 234 0465. That is the number you can call. Call that number from ground zero, from anywhere that you are, and you will be assisted on how you can buy your trip for Boya. Thanks for the call. And again, please do not call on Facebook. I cannot accept calls on Facebook. I have some technical problems with that. Thank you. Hello, sir. Hello, good evening, sir. Hello. 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 Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
This is SCBC, sir, and you are watching Secretary Chris.
Yes, I have a question, please.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, I just want to make a comment regarding what Yaoundé. So, from my point of view, he said, they could not come in until if any of the parties could call them to come in for negotiation. So my question is there a means which the interim government can negotiate, can take that initiative to address them, to approach them, to see if they can come for help? Because we know we are waiting for the Cameroon government. I don't know when they will ever come for our rescue.
Thank you, sir. So in other words, you are saying the IG should take the initiative to reach out to the diplomats or what?
Yes, with the US government.
Yes.
The ambassador is representing the US government. So in his interview with the people within. So
all right.
They are only watching, they cannot come in.
All right, thank you for the question. Thank you for the question. I will answer the question off the phone so I can free the lines for others to call. Thank you. And so this question is, why can't the IG approach the U.S. ambassador, the U.S. government, to be able, to approach them to see if we can initiate the negotiations? Again, these are classified issues which I cannot discuss them right here on the air. But when the moment comes, you will know who we are approaching. You will know whom we are talking to right here, right now. I cannot speak to that. But thanks for the call. All right, it is almost top of the hour, and I am going to go off the air. I want to thank all of you watching from Ground Zero, and I want you to know we are looking out for you. I cannot take any more calls, please. Thank you for calling. But again, for those of you who are watching from Ground Zero, I want you to know that this interim government is looking out for you. Remain resilient, resist, stand your ground. We will continue to do so until our territory is totally under our control and until our flag is raised permanently in the Prime Minister Lodge in Boya. And for our boys who are defending our territory, doing all that they can, sleeping in the bushes, and for all of you who have lost your homes and you are hiding in refugee camps and in the bushes, we want you to know better days are ahead. Because of you, there is no way this interim government is going to give up on this revolution. So we encourage you, remain strong and know that this battle will be won. We must live free or die. Thanks for tuning in today.